What is the internet saying about the GoPro Max? Should you buy it? And what about the new camera from Kandao, the Qoocam 8K? Sure, the GoPro Max looks good, and the initial hysteria says that, but wait, most of those reviews talk about the GoPro Max from a traditional camera video point of view. What about if you're a bit more knowledgeable? What about if you know what the GoPro Max is up against, or is going to be very shortly up against in the holiday season? Well, that changes the game a bit. Hi, I'm Sarb Johal, and welcome to my channel, which is all about mobile 360 video and photography and how to edit for great results. Be sure to subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any more of my videos, and don't forget to like this video too. All right, let's start with what the GoPro Max is up against and what opportunity it has to beat the market leader. Now, in my view, the current champion without doubt is the Insta360 One X. And yes, it's fragile, not just with the lenses, and if you scratch them, there's no alternative but to send it back to China, and people's experience of that service has been somewhat patchy at best. You can find my experience up here. But also because the bottom mount is also pretty flimsy in people's experience. Again, no user change is available. It has to be returned to base in China for repair. And for a camera this size and of this cost, it's a bit much to ask your customers to wait so long. Add to the fact that the One X is not waterproof and you need to add a case, which isn't always available to buy. And it doesn't seem that reliable either. And also the fact that the accessories like the GPS remote are never available. Then wait, you can see why people are holding out for what GoPro could possibly produce. So what does the GoPro Max bring to the party? Well, it has a touchscreen on the front, and you can watch back 360 clips on the actual camera. That's good, right? I know I'd like that. And the design is pretty good, but you can't use the accessories you already have if you're into the GoPro system. It is waterproof too, and that may be a game changer for you. And the mics are supposed to capture sound really, really well. But other than that, is it all that different to the other 360 cameras out there in late 2019? I think probably not. Maybe those hardware upgrades of it being waterproof and the touchscreen is enough for you to buy the GoPro Max or switch from another system. But one of my strengths in my view of the Insta360 One X is the ease with which you can edit your footage, especially on mobile devices. I do it all the time, and 99% of my videos on this channel have been produced entirely using a mobile workflow. Now, the GoPro Fusion had a horrible workflow. Has it been improved with the GoPro Max? And can it rival the One X? Well, the app seems to look good, and initial reports was that it was pretty easy to reframe and produce excellent outputs. But it's no better than the One X, and it's been doing it for longer too. And the One X has gone through all the firmware updates to deliver a stable mobile app solution. However, apparently GoPro don't allow you to export from the mobile app as a 360 photo. The One X app does allow you to do that into your camera roll directly. So if 360 photos are your thing, well, you can do it, but it's a workflow that's way more complicated than it should be. And also, no slow motion on the GoPro Max. Why? Apparently this is going to be fixed in an upcoming software update, but why? Now, looking through the Facebook groups that are places to discuss the GoPro Max, and you can quickly see that the GoPro Max does seem to struggle a bit in low light, and comparison videos that I've seen seem to indicate that the One X is better. Not brilliant, but certainly better in these low-level lighting situations. Also, what I'm hearing and reading is that people are reporting that the GoPro app is pretty buggy, and that if you don't have a pretty powerful iOS phone or Mac, then it's pretty painful in terms of time to process the footage. But that's probably true for a lot of 360 cams shooting 5.7K these days. But in summary, if you're into using a GoPro, well, like a GoPro, that's for extreme sports or vlogging, that kind of thing, and you don't already have a 360 camera, well, this could be just the entry point camera you're looking for. And if you've got a One X like me, there's not much point in changing, unless you need those GoPro-y features. I've got a GoPro Hero 7 Black, so I won't be changing myself, if that's anything to go by. And don't forget, the Insta360 One X can also capture in HDR mode for video too. Find out more in my video telling you why this is such a great feature of the One X. So I'm happy with my One X, and I won't be changing to the GoPro Max. But I do have to say that I'm very, very tempted by the recent spec release of the new camera from Kandao, the Qoocam 8K. Wow. I mean, where do I start? It's described as the world's first pocket panoramic camera, the world's first 8K consumer camera. Why is 8K important? Well, at 7680 by 3480 at 30 frames per second, then this resolution is 4 times that of a 4K 360 camera and twice that of a 5.7K camera like the One X and the GoPro Max. And add to that the highest bit rate of up to 200 Mbps, and we can see the potential for some great detail being captured with this camera over a relatively wide canvas, if you see what I mean. It's also got 120 FPS slow motion at 4K, which is better in all ways compared to the 100 frames per second available on the One X at 3K resolution and no slow motion as yet on the GoPro Max. Now, one of the most widely raved about strengths of the One X is the flow state stabilization, which delivers a very smooth stabilization, especially with hyperlapses with motion blur. The Qoocam 8K claims a 6-axis gyroscope and anti-shake image technology, but we'll have to see what that looks like and how it compares to the competition. It also looks like you can set your own presets based on templates and your own style, and it remembers these. So no more fiddling around with settings for each shot. If there's a way you like to set your camera up, you can set this up as a preset, switch to that, and start shooting immediately. Now, I have this kind of function on my Fujifilm mirrorless cams, but I haven't come across it at a consumer level 360 camera before. And if this is the case, and depending on how this is implemented, this could be really useful, incredibly useful. Now, the app for the camera looks like it has a recapture mode with multiple projections and filters, something that they're calling Smart Clip, building upon, I guess, the previous app for the old Qoocam, unique vlog concepts, and it also supports native 360 video exports and, well, flat video too. And that app looks like it's available for both Android and iOS. It's also got its own built-in color LCD screen, allowing live preview and previews of recorded video too. Now, I'm salivating, to be honest. What else can we look forward to? Well, now here's the biggie. The sensor size appears to be over 50% larger in terms of its light sensing area compared to other cameras in this range, with a single lens resolution of up to 20 megapixels. So theoretically, that should lead to more detail and less noise in low light conditions. So we can look forward to that from the photography side too. And it'll be interesting to see how that low signal to noise ratio means low light video performs too. It should be good, fingers crossed. Now, the leaked specs also claim 30 megapixel panoramic pictures supporting 12-bit RAW format. And that means post-processing these photographs should bring out even more detail and potential for creative editing. That looks great. It also has a 3.5mm mic input, which is unheard of at this consumer level. So I would really look forward to using a mic with that, but of course it will show in your 360 video, probably, unless they figured out some AI magic to remove it. It's also got a large capacity built-in 3600 milliamp battery that supports fast charging and 64 gigabyte storage built-in, expandable with a micro SD card. And they're going to be charging $589 for this. What? This is like a dream camera. We'll have to wait to see how it performs in real life and how the software performs, especially processing 8K video footage with pretty big file sizes on mobile devices. I don't think anyone's figured that out yet. So I'm very curious to see how they do that, because I think it will either make or break the success of this new camera from Kandao. So my final word, if you're looking for a camera to get, maybe just wait a few days. Maybe it's not the GoPro Max you should be looking at. Maybe you should be looking at the Qoocam 8K instead. What do you think? Can you wait? Or have you bought the GoPro Max already and are now regretting it? Or maybe you think the GoPro Max is the best thing ever. Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have found it useful, interesting, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I'd love to see you back here again soon. Here's some more of my videos that you might find interesting or useful. Please take a look around, and thanks for watching. Cheers and go well.